Aaron.
I'm Amber. Hey.
And we completed our first WhatNot auction on Wednesday night. And I think before jumping in, I was just wanted to start by asking you, how did you feel before
Oh my
WhatNot?
gosh, I so did not want to do it. I was a basket case. I was stressed.
Yeah. She
I
was
didn't know
stressed
what
for
to expect, like for days leading
yeah
up to it.
days leading up to it. She was stressed. I didn't really get nervous until maybe like 30 minutes before.
No, I was nervous the whole time.
Yeah,
Until
honestly,
we were going, and then
I was
it was
pretty
fine.
excited going into it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So let's talk the good, the bad, and the ugly. I always like to start with the bad because I think that's generally what people like to hear.
Yeah, it's true.
I think they're attracted. So the ugly aspect of it, would you say it's the anticipation waiting for your first WhatNot?
Just getting on the first one. I am glad that they do, like, you can do a practice with somebody else beforehand, so it's not actually live, but you can see how it works.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand, like, the technology side of it, how multiple different devices can connect to the same. I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me, and I couldn't get the computer to do what I wanted it to. I wanted to run it off the computer, but I ended up having to use my phone.
Yeah, I would say too, we had a little bit of an equipment failure.
I mean, the phone fell.
Literally, the phone fell off the stand at the very beginning of the auction. Now, granted,
not a big deal.
We went a couple minutes in early, so it was probably at like 8:58.
We were running our first one a minute before he was even supposed to start.
So it didn't take very long, but Amber had to run out and grab some duct tape, and we were able to make it through the rest of the auction the rest of the way. But so yeah, I think we're gonna have I guess a little bit more of a sturdy setup that is.
We just need a new stand.
Yeah. So I would say that was the ugly aspect of it. The bad, I would say, there is a little bit of like pressure while you're in there when you're working with technology. So like I was seeing a little bit of a situation where like the auction was ending, but I'm still holding up the hat that we were selling, and then it took a little bit of a delay before I figured out that it was done.
Yeah. Moving on.
And we're moving on.
Yeah. It wasn't a big deal.
Any other challenges that you had with like your computer?
I mean, I wanted to play music too, and then like my mom and dad said it was echoing, so then I shut the music off, and then come to find out after the show they said it was because they were both watching it on their devices, so one was saying it and then they heard the echo only in their house.
Yeah.
So
it was fine. It just so then we ended up going without music for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was any impact to the show. I think we just kept it going anyway, but
not a big deal. And now we know too. Like that stuff, like we won't know unless somebody tells us.
So what else?
Feedback.
Anything else bad that you would say with the show?
No, I don't think so. I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Okay. So the good, I think we moved a good amount of inventory.
Yes. Yeah, we sold like 42 hats.
42 hats. We ran 72 or something like that, and we had some giveaways in there as well. But I think it worked really well. I honestly think it actually helps our eBay store because I took down several hats, and even with all the inventory that didn't sell, they were super easy to relist because a lot of times we already had a draft, and I just go to unsold and was able to relist. And our store is woken up on the eBay side as well.
Yeah, and I don't know what impact that had. I guess it was because you relisted some.
Yeah, I relisted a lot. So, and then also, like, I drastically reduced the price because if we weren't able to sell it for $10 on WhatNot, why am I going to ask for $25 on eBay?
It kind of made things like, okay, it's not worth what you think, so just move it. Just get it gone.
Well, there's a little bit give and take because it's a different marketplace. I think with WhatNot,
there weren't that many people in there. Yeah. There was like at most like 18 at a time.
And there were good deals. It was good deals. Yeah. I will say too, the other aspect too is we had a lot of friends and family that were in there. So I don't think expectation. I don't think my expectation of what we would sell moving forward would
going to match that.
Be that. So like I would not expect to get some of the items to sell for as much as it did. We had one that was actually a pretty good bidding war that for a hat. Now this is a super nice hat.
Yeah. Wasn't it brand new?
It was brand new with tags. It was a splash. If you're familiar with how hats, it was an NFL logo athletic splash hat. Was brand new with tags and it went for $85. But it was a bidding war. I just started it at 50. It went all the way up to 85. Now, and 85 is probably about what it sells for on eBay.
Yeah.
Brand new with tags. So we got about eBay price for an item, and I never even had to list it on eBay.
Yeah, and honestly, like we've been struggling with trying to find places to store our inventory because we have so much and it's consuming our house.
I think we've
driving me crazy. Literally driving me crazy. I feel like an organized hoarder's house.
But yeah, we moved
it goes so fast.
We moved a good amount of inventory.
Yeah.
We're going to open up quite a bit of space in our house to store more inventory.
For hats.
But I think, too, the shipping was really easy, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to shipping from eBay, so that was no big deal. And I already had the boxes, so I was prepared for all the hats we sold.
So I could see where if you weren't prepared to sell that much inventory.
That would be a panic, I think, to hunt down the boxes.
And I think, too, it's expected to have a quick turnover with the shipping so that they're...
Yeah.
They don't want to wait.
No, they're at an auction. They want it. They bought it. They want it the next, as soon as possible.
So we shipped it the next day.
And we always ship fast anyways, so that's I'm used to that. But I'm sure that could be overwhelming for the first time if you're doing WhatNot.
So let's talk about the future.
I would like to do clothes because I just love. I like clothes. I'm not a big like fancy brand person, but I don't know. I think the clothes I pick are cute, and I'd like to show them off and. They're easy to pack and ship.
So in a way...
And I can get them cheap. I can get a lot of them for like $1.
Yeah. So even in those situations, it's okay if you sell it for $3 or $5. You keep it moving, and other people are getting good deals as well. So
I just don't know how it would go for like the people that followed the store after the hats to then switch straight to women's clothes.
I think it's just the reality of it. We gained a lot of followers in that process, but again, they're probably a lot looking for specifically hats. We're going to do hats again.
Yeah, we have so many.
But in this situation too, like I ran the show for the most part, and you were kind of the admin.
Yeah,
we would be switching. We would be switching roles.
Yeah. And I think it'd give you good practice.
Yeah, we would become very familiar. I
will
both say
sides.
With the eBay side, like I don't really know the shipping aspect of the job because you do all the shipping all the time. And I think when it comes to listing, I'm more proficient at listing because I list all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think there's definitely going to be some like benefits to knowing both sides.
Yep.
So what else? Anything else you like?
I just liked it. I don't know. I know it's a lot of prep ahead of time because you listed all the hats before the show started. So then that would be my job if I'm doing a women's category or
I guess
clothing.
the aspect we can talk about. So from a listing perspective, I listed a little over 70 hats. I think our total buy cost and inventory is probably close to about $100
for all 75.
For all 75 hats. Not all 75 sold.
No.
We ended up making about $350 in actual sold profit from the show, and I want to say
in an
all
hour
in.
And a half.
And so we did an hour and a half
of
the show.
Yeah.
If I had to say how many hours did it take me to actually list on there, and keep in mind this is my first time listing on WhatNot, so I expect this to not take as long in the future. I would say probably took 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah. And we already know like our setup of how we would structure the room and like the every time somebody purchased something I would write down their username, and then I had these zipper bags that were really big. I could put the inventory in there, so that was super organized. And so that stuff wouldn't take long for the next show. So I think it will only improve in the efficiency that we can.
So I think the plan is that we're gonna run it bi-weekly. So every other week we're gonna have a WhatNot, and I guess the commitment's gonna be clothes next time.
Clothing, yeah, we can do that. And what other categories? So we know we like hats.
We're gonna do probably a plush one, and in that situation, plush. It's gonna
maybe we'll do plush. No, we'll do clothes next.
It's gonna be $2 starts and letting stuff go.
Yeah,
and it'll be fairly cheap.
Many
the problem with the plush is the shipping aspect of it, because some of these items are larger.
Yeah. But I mean, you just suck the air right out of them and put them in a bag.
Surprisingly large items.
We have like a Caterpillar today that was like this big.
Yeah.
And that thing shipped in like this size. Because, I mean, it's just full of air. And it's not going to get damaged. I have it packaged really well, so.
Yeah.
So plush won't be that bad.
All right. So I might need your help whenever I go to list those things. Just from what's the dimensions going to be.
Yeah.
Because I know that can be a deterrent, is the shipping cost. But,
yeah.
So yeah.
And then records, maybe? Would you do records?
I don't think we have enough yet to run records.
Might have a big bundle sale that we purchased from.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to what do we end up
What can
finding.
what can we source?
So like this last weekend, we bought
we already had a ton
of hats. And
yep.
so I could take those hats, mostly vintage, and then just move them straight to WhatNot.
Yeah, and they got out of our house like
move them
less
really
than a week.
Fast. And most of the hats that sold were basically from that purchase.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff from our old inventory did not particularly sell. So
yeah, but that also helps us like lower the cost on eBay. So
yep.
now, we'll, you know, it kind of wakes us up to what people are looking for and what they like and what value they'd put them at. So
yep.
I think it's good. And so now I'm working on editing our sourcing video from our, what was that, Highway 21 sale that we did from Virginia down to North Carolina.
We never made it to Virginia. It's kind of interesting. It was 100 miles long.
Yeah.
And we probably were on like a 35-mile strip that we went up this way.
It took forever,
and
and
then
it
on the way
was
back
so
home.
hot. So hot.
Yeah. But
it was fun. We got some good stuff.
And we learned a lot about the GoPro. So
yeah. Yeah, so like the first day with the GoPro
it lasted about 20% of the time.
Yeah. And but then the next day I think I got better. I had it angled better, so the second day footage will be better than the first.
But of course you're going to get the first day footage first.
Get the rough out of the way and then we'll spruce
only
it up
get
for
ready
the
for
second.
there. So other than that, thank you everybody for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.
Hey, bye. Did you end it?
Chat.
So. You did chat.
Oh, did
We're
I do
still
chat?
live.
We are
Here,
still live.
let's see. We can do it.
There we go.
Bye.